I'd like to call the Oakland County Board of Commissioners meeting for May 17th, 2018 to order, and I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Commissioners Berman,
Here.
Bowman, Crawford.
Here.
Dwyer is excused. Fleming,
Here.
Gershenson, Gingell,
Here.
Hoffman, Jackson is excused. Kokendorfer,
Here.
Kowal,
Here.
Long,
Here.
McGilvray,
Here.
Middleton, Quarles, Spiz is excused. Taub,
Here.
Teets,
Teets is also excused absence.
okay, Teets. Weipert,
Here.
Woodward, Zach. Here. You have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. This morning, our invocation will be given by the Honorable Marcia Gershenson. I'd ask Commissioner Gershenson to come to the podium before us, and I'd ask that you all please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Gershenson.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll now move to approve the minutes of May 2nd, 2018. Moved by Crawford, supported by McGilvray. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The minutes have been approved. Now on to the approval of the agenda, and for that I'll call on the Majority Caucus Chair, Commissioner Shelley Taub. Commissioner Taub.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first issue that I'd like to suspend the rules for is item under the General Government Committee, item A, MR 18149, Board of Commissioners Declaration of June 2nd, 2018 is National Gun Violence Awareness Day in Oakland County and support the Wear Orange campaign. We're going to waive Rule 3. The resolution was taken up by the General Government Committee immediately prior to today's meeting, and this will go on the consent agenda. Second one is item B, also on General Government. Clerk Register of Deeds, approval of intergovernmental agreement with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services for the Michigan Centralized Birth Certification System, MICBCS. Again, we are going to waive Rule 3. The resolution was taken up by the General Government Committee immediately prior to today's meeting. We also are going to waive Rule 9E. The fiscal note was taken up by the Finance Committee on May 10th, 2018. The next item would be item C on the consent on the agenda. This will go on the regular agenda, Mr. Chair. It is Board of Commissioners Huron-Clinton Metropolitan Authority appointment, and that will be voted on by the board, okay? The next item is under Economic Development and Community Affairs Committee. It will go under consent, and it is the Department of Economic Development and Community Affairs resolution confirming appointment of additional EDC directors, the Detroit Skating Club, Inc. project, Charter Township of Bloomfield. We are going to waive Rule 3. The resolution was inadvertently left off the board agenda. Resolution was taken up by the EDCA committee, passed unanimously on May 8th, 2018. And finally, item B on Economic Development and Community Affairs Committee, B, Department of Economic Development and Community Affairs, resolution approving project area and project district area, the Detroit Skating Club, Inc. project, Charter Township of Bloomfield, and we are going to waive Rule 3. Resolution was inadvertently left off the board agenda. Resolution was taken up by EDCA committee, passed unanimously on May 8th. With that, with those changes, I would like to move the agenda as amended. Thank you.
All right, so I have a motion by Taub, supported by Woodward, move the agenda as amended. All the items will be going on consent, except for the one appointment will be added to GG in the regular agenda, so that will cause the General Government Committee to come before us today. Any discussion on the amended agenda? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Commissioners Bowman? Crawford?
Yes.
Fleming?
Yes.
Gershenson? Gingell?
Yes.
Hoffman? Hoffman disappeared, okay. Kokendorfer?
Yes.
Kowal?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
McGilvery?
Yes.
Middleton?
Yes.
Quarles?
Yes.
Taub?
Yes.
Weipert?
Yes.
Woodward? Zach?
Yes.
Berman?
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 16 yeas, 0 nays.
16 yeas, the amended agenda has been adopted, and that'll bring us to the communications portion of our agenda. We have a number of items here, and what I want to do first is recess from our regularly scheduled Board of Commissioners meeting to hold a public hearing for the Pilot Local Road Improvement Program fiscal year 2018 appropriation, project number 2018-16 through 2018-31, and the multiple year project plans. So is there anyone here today specifically to talk about this item as part of public comment? Seeing none, I'll close the public comment on that matter. We'll return back to our normal Board of Commissioners meeting. And this is the point in our meeting where we get the opportunity to recognize special individuals and organizations that are doing great things in Oakland County. And I'm very honored today that we have a number of them. So we will start with a proclamation that is going to be presented by Commissioner Zach and Commissioner Woodward. Commissioner Zach.
Stand with us. So it's my honor to be able to recognize Superintendent McDavid from Berkeley Schools. You know, I was telling the story that we get lots of communication that comes across our desk. And I get the Berkeley Beat, which is telling me what's going on in Berkeley Schools. And I read this beautiful story about Superintendent McDavid getting a national, he's one of 4 people who got this national award, which is called for excellence in teaching. It's the Kennedy Center Stephen Sondheim Inspirational Teacher Award. And Superintendent McDavid, this is actually his second career. He had a corporate life and decided to go into education many years ago, and was a teacher at Berkeley High School. And in 2006, 2007, he had this student, and she's in Ashley Maloff, who at that point was diagnosed with epilepsy. So she was a special needs student. And it was a tremendous challenge for her to get through the school year. And he became the shining light that helped her through this. So fast forward to present, she submitted this beautiful application for this award on his behalf because of the difference that he made in her life. And she's presently working with special needs students. You know, this is 12 years later as a result of this really caring teacher helping her through that. So that's why I wanted to, you know, recognize and honor him today. So I don't know if you want to say anything more.
Yeah, well, and I guess I would just add to it is that, I mean, Oakland County we are very lucky to have incredible school districts, and our schools are great because of the educators that are in them, the leadership that run them and the incredible students that are part of them. And I mean, I think this award is incredibly deserving to the superintendent, McDavid, and I want to say thank you for all the work that you did. And I think you're a stellar example of what leadership in this in the education community needs to be. And thank you for your service.
I'm not going to read this. Basically, I summarized the beautiful story. And would you like to say anything?
I would just say thank you for the recognition, and I really want to thank you and extend this to all teachers in Oakland County and across the state. As Commissioner Zach said, this is my second career and had a great career with General Motors and moved up the chain there. And so I have an appreciation for how difficult teaching is as compared to a corporate career. And really our teachers really give their lives to improve the lives of other folks. And so extending this recognition to all of them, I really thank you on behalf of all the teachers in the county and the state.
And we also have the honor this morning of recognizing another special individual from the great city of Auburn Hills. I'd like to ask the police chief, Doreen Okel, to come forward. So a lot of times when you're in law enforcement, public service, you hear about all the negative things. You don't always get to hear about the positive things. But today it's a positive thing. The chief has been with the city of Auburn Hills for 24 years, has been in law enforcement protecting communities and citizens since 1973, and she has decided that it's time to retire, and I understand play golf and do some other things, but I know you're going to remain involved. And I wanted to take the opportunity today on behalf of the board to present you with the proclamation. And I think I'll just read pieces of it for you. But whereas we are all deeply indebted to the honorable individuals who serve in law enforcement, having dedicated their lives and careers to serving and protecting the community and the people who live there. Whereas Chief Doreen Okel has dedicated 24 years to Auburn Hills Police Department. She began her career in 1973 as a deputy for Ingham County Sheriff. We're thankful that you came this way. And in 1977, she served as police officer with the Meridian Township Police, where she was promoted from officer to captain. In 1994, she was selected to be deputy chief for Auburn Hills Police Department and was promoted to chief in 1997. In January 2012, she took responsibility for both the police and fire departments when she became the director of emergency services. And then as the departments were separated again in 2014, she resumed her former responsibilities as police chief. So I want to recognize her, and on the occasion of her retirement, join with her family and friends, as well as the Auburn Hills Police Department and the City of Auburn Hills, to congratulate her on her professional accomplishments, to thank her for her many years of dedicated services. Now, therefore, I, Michael J. Gingell, Chairman of the Oakland County Board of Commissioners, along with the entire Oakland County Board of Commissioners, do hereby proclaim special commendation to Chief Doreen Okel for her exemplary service to Oakland County and the Auburn Hills Police Department. We wish her all the best in her retirement. Tested the 17th day of May, 2018.
I'd just like to say thank you very much, Commissioner, for this honor and recognition. I hope that the residents of Oakland County understand what great law enforcement they have throughout their communities in Oakland County. It's been my pleasure to work with many, many fine chiefs with the Sheriff's Department, and I hope they recognize how good they have it.
Thank you.
Commissioner Gingell. Commissioner Gingell.
Mike.
After photo. I would just like to speak after the photo about.
you might hurt my feelings. Commissioner Zach.
I just want to commend Chief Olko, too. I've had the opportunity to work with her in many different initiatives through the Employee Assistance Program, and she's truly a person who cares for her staff. And she also has led the effort of working in all of the different initiatives on substance abuse, mental health, different training. They've really led many of the efforts throughout the county, and it's because of her wonderful leadership. So thank you.
Something tells me she's going to be active in her retirement, so we're going to keep her engaged for sure. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate your service, and I appreciate you coming out today. The next item we have this morning is a presentation from our friends at the Detroit Institute of Arts. So I see many of them here, and I know Salvador has another commitment he needs to get to as big events are happening at the DIA that are getting large media attention. So we don't want to keep you. I don't know if you want to come say a few words, and Dave Flynn I know is also going to come up, and maybe some others. So those of you that will be involved in the presentation, please come forward. And I'll yield the floor to you to start your presentation. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, the Commission, for giving us the opportunity to speak with you today. We are here to report on our activities for 2017 as it pertains our service agreement with Oakland County. We're very, very excited about this. I'm proud of the work that we've done together. I want to thank not only the Commission, but also the arts authorities, especially the chair of the Arts Authority, Thomas Guastello, who's been a great partner and leader, helping us provide the best service possible to Oakland residents. Unfortunately, normally I'd like to do this presentation, but unfortunately I have to go to the museum. We are opening today our Star Wars exhibition and the Power of Costume, fantastic exhibition. Yes. And it has huge media attention. Our press conference is on 11, and I need to be there with the team, but my heart is sliced in two. I want to be here too as well. So. Not yet. But I'd just like to introduce to all of you someone who you know very well, Dave Flynn, who is our Executive Director for Public Affairs at the DIA, who is going to be presenting with Julie McFarland, our officer in the Public Affairs Department, the report on the 2017 activities. Dave?
Thank you, Salvador. It's exciting to come out and present the past year's annual report to the Board of Commissioners. Just as a reminder, our commitment, once I started at the DIA, is to come to the county commission meetings 3 times a year, just like we do the art authorities, to make sure you're apprised of what's going on at the museum and that we have constant contact to answer your questions and provide information. In the beginning of the year, in January, February, we'll come out to talk about the program plan as we did. This is to talk about the previous year's audited numbers that we have for the previous calendar year, which is 2017. And then we'll come out in September or October, give a mid-year report, but also highlight some of the programming that we're doing at the museum to make sure that residents understand what we're doing. We have a service agreement with the Art Authority, and the DIA is committed to working to be the most engaging and transparent of any regional organization to the counties, and that starts with oversight. And I'd be remiss, I know Salvador mentioned Tom, but Tom, as a volunteer, puts a ton of time into the Art Authority, making sure that Oakland residents and taxpayers get the most out of this millage. In those service agreements, we are required to offer free general admission, school programs where we bus children and students down to the museum, and we reimburse that school district 100% or provide a bus, senior trips where we provide transportation and activities for seniors, and community partnerships with local nonprofit organizations. As you'll see on your slide, the first of that is free general admission. As you can see, over the past 5 years, there's been 550,000 visits of Oakland County residents. Obviously, that number has dropped a little bit, but we want to make sure that this is a conservative count, because this only includes people who come in through the front of house. It does not include special exhibitions like Star Wars, which will bring in tons of people to the museum. It doesn't include the film theater, which has attendance that is increasing significantly over the past few years, as well as other activities that we have at the museum. And you'll ask, why aren't these counted? Well, I think it started to count a consistent manner, and they didn't want to change that in the middle of the game, and so we wanted to explain that to you today. Part of what we're doing is trying to increase awareness of all the services that we offer. And so for the first time, you'll have it in your packet, for the first time you'll see a brochure that has all the direct services that the millage provides. And in there, it provides a direct phone number to the reservation department or whatever relevant department to actually engage in those services. You don't have to call the general number and then be forwarded over. This is the exact email and the exact phone number for each one of these services. And we're only printing a few thousand at this time to get feedback, but we're going to mass produce this and put this in your city rec departments, your libraries, senior centers, etc. County Connections newsletters. We're building lists of all community leaders, not just the elected officials, but we include cities and townships and senior departments, libraries, and we're sending this information to all of them. This is a document that only would go to the County Commission and the Art Authority before, and now in Oakland County, you're going to have probably about 500-600 key stakeholders that are getting this information that they can pass along electronically to their networks. We're mailing free general admission to residents to make sure that they understand that they get free general admission, as well as the offerings that are included on the ticket that's included in your packet. One project that we're undergoing is mapping. Each one of these represents, you'll see Oakland County on the right-hand side of the screen, indicates one of the services that we offer. So we can track where we've been in the community, as well as attendance on that to show, is it increasing, is it decreasing? Should we change that program? Should we market it better? But it also tells us where we haven't been. And so we can geographically make sure that we're in all parts of Oakland County. County Leaders Night, we know that all of you have received numerous invitations, and we hope you can make it to tomorrow night's event, which is reception, some remarks by Salvador and the director of our board, as well as a preview of Star Wars and baseball, which you'll have the copy of Play Ball in your packet. So with that said, I'll have Julie go over some of the numbers for schools, seniors, and community partnerships, then we're happy to answer any questions.
Good morning. So Dave highlighted sort of in general terms what our service agreement commitments are. So I'm going to go through those in a little more detail for calendar year 2017. We had a total of 20,813 students participate in free field trips. The agreement is 16,000, so we've been, since the beginning of the millage, very comfortable exceeding that 16,000 set aside for students. We had United Oaks Elementary participated in a special program that's a multi-visit throughout the year that includes studio experiences, and we're continuing to expand our field trip options and experiences in the museum year over year. Which one is it? Sorry. No? Educator professional development, we do very general educator PD, where we invite educators from all 3 counties down to the museum to learn about the museum resources and how they can use that in the classroom. And then we also do really specific customized teacher PD for different school districts and individual schools. So this is just a listing of the schools that we did customized teacher PD for in 2017. And I won't go through each one, but we're working on more for 2018, and this is a really great chance for teachers to come in and talk to our educators about what they're trying to achieve in the classroom, and we put together programs and resources that help them very specifically achieve those goals through the artwork in the museum. So school field trip attendance, like I said, from the beginning of the millage, we've been fairly steady on that. We're starting to rack up some really nice numbers at the 5-year mark. So we're at over 101,000 students participating from Oakland County in free field trips. Investment, we have a commitment to spend $150,000 on school programs. We obviously easily meet that and exceed that with the number of kids we have coming through. So again, we're getting to some really nice numbers, over $1 million in school programs for Oakland County. The senior program. So the senior program brings seniors in Oakland County primarily in groups, but individuals can participate as well. We provide free bus transportation, and then every Thursday of the week we have a different experience for seniors. Guided tours, art talks with our curators, art making in the studio, and then free films in the DFT. They also have a complimentary reception of cookies and coffee, and then they have a chance to explore the collection on their own as well. We have 59 senior groups from Oakland County participate in 2017. And then for seniors who may not want to come to the museum or perhaps have mobility issues, we do offer behind-the-scene art talks in the community, and we did 39 of those in 2017. So our investment in senior programs, our commitment is $100,000. We met and exceeded that this year. And then again, year over year, we're at over $600,000 investment in these programs. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about community partnerships. One of the big ones that we do that most people are probably, hopefully are familiar with is Inside Out. In the spring, these were the communities we were in. In the summer, Auburn Hills, Clarkston, Highland Township, and Troy. So you should see those popping up right now all over Oakland County. This is really one of the primary ways that we make relationships in the counties with nonprofit groups. Because this is grant funded, we don't apply any of the spending to the service agreements for Inside Out, but it's a really important part of how we connect with the communities. DIA Way. It's another way that we get out in the communities. We did 37 trips this year, and this is where we engage residents at fairs and festivals, big community events, and then some of our schools. So we had over 11,000 visitors to DIA Way in 2017. And then there's a whole laundry list of other community partnership programs that we do on behalf of the service agreements. Drop-in art making at fairs and festivals. You'll see our DIA tent at a lot of events this summer. Directors Cut Talks, where we have Salvador out in the community, talking to community groups and getting feedback. I won't go through all of them because there's a lot of them. But these are the sort of the compilation of community partnerships that we put together for 2017 to meet our service agreement goal. So our investment in 2017 was $306,000. So we met and exceeded that number. And again, we're at about $1.7 million in the last 5 years. We were out early this year at the Art Authority and here talking about our program plan for 2018, which should generate probably around $340,000, $350,000 of investment for the upcoming year. So, you know, I've referenced the service agreements extensively here because that really drives the work that we do. We've also amended those. So Amendment 2 sort of put more structure around our meetings and our communication. So this is the middle of the 3 Art Authority meetings that we do every year. We did a financial review with Plant Moran this year, County Connections newsletter, and the County Leader event that Dave talked about for Star Wars. Those are all things that we do to comply with Amendment 2 of the service agreements. And then just a little summary of kind of what the numbers were in calendar year 2017. As you can see, we met and exceeded all of our numbers with one small exception of the senior program. We needed to do 60 trips and we did 59. So we're working really hard, paying a lot of attention to the senior program this year. One of the issues with seniors that we realized is we can book a lot of trips, but then when the bad weather comes, they start getting canceled. So we're on track and then we're behind. So we're making sure that we really overfill the roster to make sure that we meet that for 2018. This is just a little bit of contact information. We're open to suggestions. We're interested in what people are thinking, so feel free to reach out. Same with the millage brochure. We want to make sure everyone has the contacts and a way to get into the museum and talk to whoever you want to talk to.
Oh, geez.
And this is usually when Salvador talks more about Star Wars, so we'll let Dave do that.
So to close out the program and make a couple points, on the senior program, we've really looked at how we market and we execute the programs, and some of the things that we're doing are actually coming to fruition, and through the first 4 months of this year, we already have 40 senior trips that have been executed at the museum. So we're on track, and we can pretty much, I can guarantee that we'll make that 60 number this year. As well as the Michigan Association of Counties is going to be at the museum for their annual meeting on June 14th, and we're waiving the fees for that, making sure that they're hosted and taken care of properly. But with that, to close out the program, on May 4th, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan myself, but may the 4th be with you. May the 4th be with you. So we had this fun, exciting program where the first 200 people came to the museum. They got a free Star Wars ticket, and they dressed up in costume and took this picture, and it got a lot of press, but it was really a testament to how excited the community is that we're doing new exhibitions like baseball and Star Wars. So I'm not sure, Tom, would you like to say anything?
Just briefly, I'd like to thank you all for your support, and it's been great to work with the new team here, and I hope Oakland County feels that this is a very good investment for the county, good investment for the region and our state.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Commissioners, we're happy to answer any questions.
I saw Commissioner Zach, so we'll start there.
I want to thank you for these marketing materials and the presentation. It's fabulous, and I love how you're doing outreach into the communities, sending them materials into residents' home. It's really great. Thank you.
Commissioner Taub.
Thank you. I have a couple of things to say. Number one, this Saturday, Birmingham Youth Assistance is having Touch a Truck. And guess what? The DIA will be there, and I believe it'll be your DIA away truck that will be there in addition to the kids. It's at the Bingham Farms Elementary School on 13 Mile Road in Bingham Farms, and it's Saturday from 10 to 2. So I want to thank the DIA for making our Touch a Truck a great adventure for all children and adults as well. The second thing I want to say is I'm very active, as you know, in NACO, and I'm vice chair of an organization called the Arts and Culture Commission. $29.5 billion, that's with a B, dollars, is what arts and culture initiate in this country. That's your revenue. So thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Sure. Any other comments, Commissioner Woodward?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I can't be more proud of all the work that you guys are doing. You're doing, incredible work. And I think it's important. A lot of the stuff that we talked about is in large part because this board was supportive and put the question before voters, and voters of Oakland County overwhelmingly supported being able to make this happen. We didn't cover it a lot, but there is also this amazing institution that exists there every single day that is also supported with all of this. And I just want to, I mean, sometimes when we're talking about some of the new stuff that's happening, which is great, we can't lose sight of that we also have this incredible jewel that's only been made better with your leadership and the new leadership of the DIA. The other thing I just want to point out, I literally got this, a neighbor came up to me and says, Dave, we should go to the DIA, I got a free ticket. And whoever came up with this idea, because I think it's, I mean, you run a millage, there's a lot of attention. I think you see it in the usership, but we adopt it, people take advantage of it, and then it becomes like, yeah, it exists there, and sometimes I'm not always thinking about it. And I think it's the marketing and communication that this is an asset in the community that families can be using all the time. And I mean, every time I go, I learn something new. And I just want to commend you for advertising this benefit that, frankly, I think there's still, I wouldn't be surprised, a majority of residents in this county don't realize that they can take advantage of the free admission every single day. So I want to say thank you.
We know for a fact that not half of the people know that there's free admission and all these other great school and senior programs. And that's incumbent on us to try to change that paradigm.
Good work.
Any other comments? Commissioner Gershens.
And along those lines, are you familiar with our Senior Advisory Committee? Because each of us appoints somebody to sit on our Senior Advisory Committee, and they in turn would take something back to their senior centers. So that might be a good avenue for you to explore.
Do they have meetings like this?
In a much smaller room.
Maybe it'd be possible
yeah,
if we could have somebody come out that runs our senior program.
That would be great. They're always looking for speakers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Anything else? Well, I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank Salvador, who I know left, but Dave and Julie for coming out and giving us a presentation. Communication is always appreciated, and we're thankful that you guys are proactive about it. And then the other thing I want to say is I also appreciate the metrics that you show here. We negotiated things as part of the millage, and you're holding yourselves accountable to them, and that's very helpful for all of us because that means that you're upholding your end of the bargain. And I also want to thank Tom Costello, who's the chairman of the Arts Authority, representing the citizens to ensure that the money that's being raised that goes through the Arts Authority is giving us value. And it hasn't always been easy. We've worked through a number of bumps since this millage has gone into place, but at the end of the day, we've had two sides that have been willing to try to figure it out. And so I just want to thank you. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for holding yourselves accountable. Now that we've reached that level of performance, it's time to, raise the bar even more. So let's figure out the next 4 or 5 things that we can do to make Oakland County's participation in the DIA great. So thank you very much for coming out this morning. And I'll ask the clerk if there's any other communications to come before us this morning.
Mr. Chair, we have a few this morning. The first is dated April 30th, 2018 to the Oakland County Board of Commissioners from the interim city administrator of the city of Lathrop Village. And it is a letter of gratitude to the county for the contribution of matching funds under the 2017 Local Road Improvement Matching Fund project. They said local governments are always seeking grants to assist in infrastructure repairs, and we have found the county's program to be effective and void of red tape, which helps stretch the available dollars. We thank the county for continuing the program and look forward to future funding opportunities. And in a communication dated May 4th to the board from the city administrator of the city of Southfield, Frederick Zorn Jr., again, they're pleased with the positive effect that they've been able to make in their community from the 2016 and 2017 local road improvement program, and they thank you for initiating the program. The matching funds help to move road projects forward, and that's that one. And then finally is a report submitted by Chairperson Wade Fleming of the Local Road Improvement Program Subcommittee, and they're just submitting a report round 3 of what they have found for their approved projects. That's it.
Thank you. We'll now move to the public comment portion of our meeting, and I do have one individual that signed up for public comment, but if you want to speak and you didn't get a chance to sign up, I'll give you that opportunity after our first speaker. So I know Richard Bell's in the audience. If you'd like to come to the microphone in the back, and for public comment, we ask that people keep their commentary to 3 minutes. We have a clock here to help you. If it runs out, you'll hear a few beeps, and then I'll just ask you to conclude as quickly as possible. So welcome back. Always good to see you, and the floor is yours.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, good morning to all Oakland County. I'm here on behalf of the Kids First Initiative Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math Summer Camp. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, the future of the United States depends on its ability to boost students' performance in STEAM. STEAM careers are responsible for more than 50% of our sustainable economic growth. U.S. business leaders cannot find the talent that is needed to stay competitive in this increasingly technology-based society. The good news is that STEAM educational programs like the Kids First Initiative STEAM Camp can help turn the tide. If you're looking for a safe and fun environment where kids can explore, discover, engineer, create, design their future, this is the camp for them. 2nd through 6th graders are welcome at this hands-on project-based learning camp. Our campers will use the engineering design process. That's right, we're going to teach 2nd graders the engineering design process, and then they're going to apply what they learn to construct a freestanding structure while competing against others and the clock. Why are they competing? Because we know competition brings out the best in us. Using chemistry to harness the energy from a reaction, students will be able to generate enough force to launch a rocket into the sky. Can you say space travel? Students will be introduced to force and gravity. The engineering design process, creative design thinking will be reinforced as they work together, that's right, as a team to engineer a structure to protect their valuable cargo. Career Connect, mechanical engineering, seatbelts. Now young people understand what they are doing, the career is connected to, and how it applies to them. These are some of the activities that young people will be working on at this camp. Last year we had 47 students from 13 different school districts to attend the camp. The camp was such a huge success last year with all the parents and students who attended that we decided to add not 1 but 2 additional days to the camp. We've added some exciting activities. For example, Application Engineering Challenge. We are very excited to have as our guest instructor Mr. Lewis Lassiter, who is an engineer at Under Armour, who will be traveling from Maryland to instruct the campers. The camp will take place this year at Hawkwoods Nature Center on Monday, June the 18th through the 20th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The next big discovery in science or the breakthrough in medicine is not going to come from me. It's not going to come from all of you smart people out there. It's going to come from our young people. All we have to do is ignite that spark that's inside of them. If you want to register your young people for the camp, you can visit kidsfirstinitiative.org or call 248-238-8234. It's going to be our young people that are going to help engineer this county and take us into the future. It's going to be the young people that are going to use science and technology to drive this country back into #1 where it should be through using STEM. Science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. It's young ladies. It works with everybody. We go and we engage these young people, students that have problems in school, problems with behavior. When it comes to science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, we don't have any problems at all, and they're going to be the ones that's going to be leading this country forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for coming out, and it's a very,
Mr. Chair.
very good initiative. Commissioner Gershenson.
Thank you for coming out and talking to us about this, but are you having an event tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am. As you guys know, we're having an event tomorrow because you guys empowered the Kids First Initiative. You guys gave us a couple awards, so we went out to spread our wings outside of the city of Pontiac. So tomorrow, in lieu of Infrastructure Week, this week, we'll be down at Oak Park High School. The Coast Guard, they're bringing a helicopter in. Why? Because the kids are going to be engaged by that. Volkswagen, I'm happy to say, Volkswagen has a huge presence here in Auburn Hills, Michigan, also the state of Michigan. They're bringing the Audi R8 from the Iron Man movie because the kids are going to love that. Job opportunities, job shadowing opportunities, internships for the students there at Oak Park, but also the students all over the county. So we have some students coming from Farmington that will be taking the day off of schools, of course, to come and participate in that event. I did send an invite out to all of the commissioners to come out and participate. I'm just going to be honest with you. We're a small nonprofit organization. Volkswagen, they have one of their vice presidents coming out from Texas, and so they're going to be looking to speak to somebody on the county level, on the state level, of how they can do some more business. So that's a little bit over my pay grade, so it'll be great to have somebody from the county commissioners to come out, and that's why I did send out invites to everybody, and you guys are always welcome to come out so you can see what your support is helping us to do. So we're very excited about that, and also the skilled trades will be there for our students. They're going to get a chance to build some items there tomorrow from the skilled trades, not from us.
If there's a time that would be best for you, for us, if we were going to stop in, what time would that be?
That would be 12:45, so you can see that helicopter overhead, that Coast Guard helicopter overhead, when it lands right there in the field, and reactions from all the students as they come in. And I want to see that Iron Man car myself, and I want you guys to ask Volkswagen, what more can you bring to the county? And then, so they're not going to say no, not in front of all those students, so thank you.
And then,
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great. Is there anyone else this morning that would like to speak in public comment that didn't get a chance to sign up? Seeing none, I'll close public comment, and we'll move on to the remaining items on our agenda, starting with the reports of the standing committees. And I'll take a motion from Fleming, supported by Quarles, to move the items on the consent agenda. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
On the consent agenda, Commissioners Crawford,
Yes.
Fleming,
Yes.
Gershenson, Gingell,
Yes.
Hoffman. Did he leave? Okay, he left. Kokendorfer.
Yes.
Kowal.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
McGilvery.
Yes.
Middleton.
Yes.
Quarles. Taub.
Yes.
Weipert.
Yes.
Woodward. Zach.
Yes.
Berman.
Yes.
Bowman. Oh. Bowman? Thank you. Mr. Chair, you have 16 yeas, 0 nays.
15 yeas, 0 nays. The items on the consent agenda have been approved. And now we'll move on to the regular agenda. We should have one committee to come before us this morning, which would be the General Government Committee. So I'll call on the chairperson of that committee, Commissioner Christine Long. Commissioner Long.
Okay, just the one item. Good morning. Board of Commissioners, Huron-Clinton Metropolitan Authority appointment. The General Government Committee, having considered the appointment on May 17th, 2018, hereby recommends the reappointment of Jay Quadruzzi to the Huron-Clinton Metro Authority to serve a 6-year term beginning May 16th through May 15th, 2024. Chairperson, on behalf of the General Government Committee, I move the acceptance of the foregoing report.
Okay, so we'll do it in 2 steps. Moved by Long, supported by Gershenson to accept the report. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Report's now accepted. And now on the appointment as a action, moved by Long, supported by McGilvery. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll. Whoop, Commissioner Woodward.
It's not so much of a discussion. It's just like I think it's been a while since we've heard from Huron, Clinton, Water. Oh, never mind. She's coming in.
We're going to have her come in.
Okay, beautiful.
And I will say that just from my perspective, she is in regular communication with me on issues as they arise. So she has been fairly active, I believe. Yeah.
She does email me too, and I could forward them to you guys too about things coming up.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call the roll.
Okay. Commissioners Fleming,
Yes.
Gershenson, Gingell,
Yes.
Kokendorfer,
Yes.
Kowal,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvery,
Yes.
Middleton, Quarles, Taub,
Yes.
Weipert,
Yes.
Woodward, Zach,
Yes.
Berman,
Yes.
Bowman, Crawford.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 16 yeas, 0 nays.
16 yeas, 0 nays. The appointment's been approved. Commissioner Long.
That concludes General Government Report.
And that should conclude the regular agenda. So we have no items of special committees, no special order of business, no unfinished business. I know that we have a number of new and miscellaneous items, so if the commissioners would like to line up towards the back, I'll recognize you in that order. Commissioner Weipert.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a miscellaneous resolution regarding recognition of Southeast Michigan Council of Governments, SEMCOG's 50th anniversary. I'd ask that be referred to general government.
Without objection, refer to the General Government Committee. Commissioner Zach.
I have miscellaneous resolution support for letting voters decide on the Regional Transit Authority's Connect Southeast Michigan Transit Plan. Refer to general government.
Without objection, refer to the General Government Committee. Commissioner Long.
Okay, I have a couple tri-party road improvement program fiscal year 2018 appropriation, Charter Township of Commerce, gravel road paving of Forest Street from Commerce Road to 150 5 feet east. Project refer to finance, and that is a much needed, that's where my kid goes to elementary school. Those potholes are huge. Refer to finance.
Refer to finance
That's my
with
editorial.
urgency, without objection.
That was
Commissioner
quick.
Long.
Okay. Next item, I'm sorry about the editorial, but that you guys, if you drove down that road, oh my goodness. Tri-Party Road Improvement Program fiscal year 2018 appropriation, Charter Township of Commerce construction of a right turn lane on Oakley Park at Newton Road. Project number 54371, refer to finance.
Without objection, refer to the Finance Committee.
And last one, Tri-Party Road Improvement Program fiscal year 2018 appropriation, Charter Township of West Bloomfield, 2018 gravel road program project 54342, refer to finance.
Without objection, refer to the Finance Committee.
That's it.
Commissioner Bowman.
Good morning, Chair. I have miscellaneous resolution, pilot local road improvement program fiscal year 2018 appropriation, City of Pontiac, resurfacing of Mill Street from Huron to Water Street, project 2018-32.
Without objection, we send it to the Finance Committee. Commissioner Crawford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a miscellaneous resolution introduced by myself and several other commissioners designating June 2018 as Immigrant Heritage Month in Oakland County. Refer to General Government.
Without objection, refer to the General Government Committee. Commissioner Gershenson.
Good morning. I'd like to introduce miscellaneous resolution designating June as National Safety Month in Oakland County in support of efforts to promote firearm safety, and it is a referral to General Government.
Without objection, refer to the General Government Committee. Commissioner Middleton.
Yes, I'm for Commissioner Spitz, introducing a tri-party road improvement program fiscal year 2018 appropriations, Charter Township of Oakland for 2018 limestone program project number 54402.
Without objection, refer to the Finance Committee. Commissioner Taub.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to introduce a resolution designating June 16th, 2018 as World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, and I would like to refer this to General Government.
Without objection, refer to the General Government Committee. Now, I do have one additional resolution here for the school drinking water station program participation agreement between Oakland County and Dr. Joseph F. Pollock Academic Center of Excellence. I know it was introduced by Commissioner Quarles and Commissioner Jackson and Commissioner Dwyer. It looks like this was one that was missed last meeting, so I believe the intention is to suspend the rules. I'll request Commissioner Quarles, do you want me to just move forward with your request to suspend the rules? Okay, so we'll take a request from Commissioner Quarles, supported by Commissioner Long, to suspend the rules on this matter. We can do a voice vote, so all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. The rules are suspended. Now on the resolution, moved by Quarles, supported by Long. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call a roll.
That's the one that got missed.
Commissioners Gershenson, Gingell,
Yes.
Kokendorfer,
Yes.
Kowal,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
McGilvray,
Yes.
Middleton, Quarles, Taub,
Yes.
Whitebert,
Yes.
Woodward, Zach, Berman,
He left.
Bowman, Crawford, Fleming.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, you have 15 yeas, 0 nays.
15 yeas, 0 nays. The resolution's been adopted. Is there any other new or miscellaneous business or any announcements to come before us this morning? Seeing none, I'll announce we're adjourned to June 13th, 2018 at 7 p.m. or at the call of the chair. We are adjourned.